The high mountains, the Himalayas, the Andes, the Alps, a biome that extends throughout the world at sites of convergent tectonic plates containing ecosystems above 10,000 feet. It covers slopes and summits of high ranges and the valleys in between. Indeed, very high. As said before, examples of high mountain biomes include the Andes in Peru, the Himalayas in India, and the Alps range throughout Europe. Biotic conditions entailing this biome include quite cute mammals, usually with short appendages and extra layers of fat and fur. Such environmental adaptations allow these organisms to retain much more body heat than normal, in order to survive, as well as oxygen volume larger than in lower altitudes. At the same time, small flowers and shrubs, as well as tall trees at the base of the mountains, are part of the same biotic factors. In general, this biome's climate is very cold, windy, and snowy, ranging from -6 to 4 degrees Celsius, high UV radiation, and quite the low oxygen levels. Other abiotic factors to consider are topographic ranges and their effects in wind current dynamics, oftentimes consisting of a windward side, oftentimes colder and wet, and leeward side, which is in contrast warmer and drier.
There are many different key species in the high mountains biome. The species that live in the high mountains have to adjust to the lower oxygen levels and colder temperatures due to the high altitude. Some species have specific adaptations that help them survive in these conditions. Many animals that live in the high mountains have thick coats of fur to help protect them from the cold. Some animals that are found in the high mountains are snow leopards, Himalayan red bears, Tibetan sand fox, and Kiang. There are an estimated 10,000 snow leopards in the wild, and they can be found in elevations from 3,000 to 4,500 meters. Himalayan red bears are a subspecies of brown bear and can be found in the mountains of Afghanistan, northern India, northern Pakistan, and West China. Tibetan sand fox can be found in altitudes 5,300 meters high. An interesting fact is that these foxes and brown bears have a commensal relationship when it comes to hunting pika. Lastly, Kiang can be found in the Alpines, northern Nepal, and in India. There are also different plant species found in the high mountains. Due to the harsh cold conditions, the highest parts of mountains can only support low-growing alpine flowers as well as sparse grasses. Alpines have fine hairs on their leaves which help reduce water loss and protect them from sun damage. Other plants that can be found in the high mountains are western juniper, eastern hemlock, Norway spruce, and red spruce. For most of the year, the high mountains are covered in snow, and this is why plants have adapted to storing food, energy, and moisture. Plants in high mountains also grow closer to the ground, which helps protect them from wind. Some of these plants have stems and rhizomes, which go deep into the surface and helps with food storage, while other plants have a waxy substance on their leaves, which helps seal moisture.
One of the biggest threats to the alpine ecosystems is climate change, as it alters the biomes through the use of a chain of events. The snow present in the high mountains biome acts as an insulator to protect soil and biota from extreme icy temperatures. As global warming persists, the water melts and results in less available water for the longer growing seasons. As the temperature warms, the temperature barriers between regions weaken, and invasive species from lower altitudes move up to the high altitude ecosystems. Further along this chain of events is the influence it has on high altitude pollinators. As the barriers subside, the pollinators begin to respond uniquely to climate change, and as a result, new interactions between species are formed and lead to large-scale changes within the communities. Conservation efforts are essential to protect these ecosystems and communities, and is why the lack of consideration of economic development, cultural diversity, and traditional values would hinder the effectiveness of conservation efforts. Conservation methods vary greatly to achieve their goals, and some include the use of tourist and recreational services, as they attract a multitude of individuals and use it to spread awareness, or using monitor programs because it allows them to incorporate populations and utilize databases to create and standardize data. Other methods include regional planning, biodiversity communication and observation, and great indicators of conservation methods are often associated with changes in the hydrological cycle and water quality analysis using bioindicators, both of which help determine the magnitude of human disturbances. Some of these can be found with the Himalayas with the black-necked crane, or the mountain regions of India, China, and Nepal, and how they have established resource dispersion and maintenance for the ecosystems, or the promotion of tourist and recreational services to support conservation via income sources of the local economies to reduce the ecological integrity threat with the Bolivian Altiplano and other similar ecosystems.